Sir Jim Ratcliffe take over next week, and his era is expected to happen next week or a week after next week, meaning that no sooner the players of United return from the international break, Sir Jim Ratcliffe would have been announced as the 25% shareholder of the club of Manchester United. Good morning. How is your Saturday taking you? And hope you're really enjoying the day. Most of the people, by the way, in my country, I think they work on Saturdays. Those that don't work on Saturdays are those that are really employed, especially those that work with NGOs, government parastatals, private sectors. But those that really do work in the formal sector, most of them are obviously at work. I don't know how is it in your country, but in my country, that is it. People mostly rest on Sunday, but there are those who work from Monday to Sunday. So we thank God for the gift of life, and the Muslims, may Allah grant you the best that you deserve. Barakallahu fikum. And we're here to obviously bring you the best of a story coming in from Fabrizio Romano, The Guardian. We are having The Sun on this, and very many others. And it's all about the Sir Jim takeover. We anticipated that the last month, 1 month back, this would have gone ahead to come to an end. But finally, this is one of the factors that has gone ahead to see United really find everybody at the club not really in the right state of mind to focus onto their job. And that's why you see to it that the chaos at Man United is increasing because of the takeover uncertainty, and this was really needed as soon as possible. And we thank God that it's finally coming to an end. When you see the likes of Fabrizio Romano come out and obviously put out tweets about this, The Guardian, The Sun, and Real Antico, then you just get to know that things are obviously going on as we want them to go. Now, smash the like button close to 100 times. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's obviously get it on. Now, the first person to break this story was Alan Nixon, and he told us that Sir Jim Ratcliffe plans to be in charge of the football side of Man United next week. He's aiming to be calling the shots by Monday. So he's the first person to put up this story, and I know he obviously gets it from credible source, but I really waited to see to it that I gather more and more sources to obviously come in here with a very fully pledged story that you guys can easily get to know what everything is all about. And it's all about Manchester United and Sir Jim Ratcliffe obviously getting to where they want to be. And I'm not one of those people that really backed Sir Jim Ratcliffe, but if the Glazers have gone ahead to choose him, however much I never wanted it that way, but if he's coming in through to obviously take over the football duties at Man United, that means one of the problems, the hindrances at the club of Manchester United has come to an end. If he comes in through and brings in a sporting director, as we're going to see, a technical director and a CEO who knows how to run the game of football and has experience in really running the club, let's obviously wait and see how that happens, because we've all said that the problem of Man United is not Erik ten Hag, it's the people above him who are failing him because of not knowing exactly how to run a football club. Now, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is coming in through, and let's give him the benefit of doubt and see, let's chance him. I know you're all going to be having our own opinions, but you have nothing to do. The Glazers have gone ahead to take a decision that we're not selling the club to Sheikh Jassim Al Thani, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe is the chosen one. So he's willing to pay £1.2 billion for the Glazers, and that 25% is going to be a minority stake for the club of Manchester United, reducing the percentage of the Glazers that they have to 44%. Then we are having The Guardian telling us that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is hopeful of completing a deal to buy a minority stake in Man United over the next fortnight to the 2 weeks. It is likely the agreement with Sir Jim Ratcliffe will be finalized before United play Everton at Goodson's Park on the 26th of November, although informed sources said next week appeared too soon for a deal. The following week is regarded as realistic. So let's all look at 2 weeks. That is it. We are looking at 2 weeks. So the first week, it might happen, that is next week, after the players get done with this session of the League Champions League, Carabao Cup, and go for the international break. Then the club wants to use this fortnight period before the players return to play against Everton at Goodson's Park when everything is done and dusted. So it will be good news, because at least we know that everyone now knows that he was going to hate to meet the new owner, and the staff will be knowing where they fall. But the uncertainties at Man United are really huge, and this is one of the factors that is really affecting our performances as a club. Then the Guardian continued and said Ratcliffe will bring in Ineos, the director of sport, that is Sir David Brassfield, to advise on potential structure changes in Manchester United's hierarchy. Ratcliffe's arrival will raise questions over the future of Erik ten Hag and the football director, that is John Murtough. We all know that Erik ten Hag is not the problem, and Sir David Brassfield will obviously sit with Erik ten Hag and have a discussion, and Erik ten Hag will tell him exactly what he feels and what he's going to hate to find in at the club of Man United. And Erik ten Hag, for the good of his job, he'll obviously come out and tell them that the people above me are not really knowledgeable for running a club like Manchester United, because even when I was at Ajax, I really had Mark Overmars and Van der Sar as the director of football and CEO respectively, and none of the people at Man United, that is the CEO Richard Arnold and the director of football John Murtough, are really having huge experience than the ones I had at Ajax. So if at all the people I had at Ajax are really more experienced and really more knowledgeable, and they've gone ahead to produce better results than the ones we're having at Man United, that means it's really a wrong project. We are having wrong people doing the project of Manchester United, and you shouldn't come here and obviously call this to happen. So that is it coming in from that, and I think, to me, Erik ten Hag is safe. I believe Erik ten Hag's job is safe, and I think the people who are really unsafe are John Murtough and the CEO. Then Sir Jim Ratcliffe's deal to become a minority shareholder in Manchester United is expected to be agreed during this month's international break, possibly as early as next week. Ratcliffe accepts that Erik ten Hag has the credit in the bank following last season's third place league finish and Carabao Cup success. He also concedes ten Hag was brought in 18 months ago on the back of succession of failures before him. So this guy knows exactly what's happening at Man United, and I pity everyone who believes that Ratcliffe is going to sack Erik ten Hag. He's not going to give him a sack. With the advisors he's having, and the people he's willing to bring in through, as I'm going to show you how Fabrizio Romano is going to hit to confirm to us, he's going to give him time. He's going to buy him time. Ten Hag has credit in the bank, and if he takes this club after the international break, that means he'll be really assessing everything, and I think will be good to go in the January transfer window. And I think that's the beauty of this, that in the January transfer window, things will obviously go on as planned, and we will always get to where we deserve to be as a club of Man United. So he best knows what is happening at Man United, and what he thinks is that I want to give Erik ten Hag obviously what he deserves, like to match the levels of Manchester City, Arsenal, Chelsea, as far as the technical people are really concerned, like the board people leading the club, and then we see how everything is going to pan out. And I think the coming in of this man is obviously going to increase on the longevity of Erik ten Hag at the club of Man United, because he will be given more time, like one January transfer window and one more summer transfer window. I think that will do him great stuff, because he wants to obviously compete for the best of the best in the world. And that is it coming in from Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And Fabrizio Romano lastly went ahead and obviously confirmed to us also that there will be changes at Man United in the coming weeks, either next week or the other week. And Jean-Claude Blanc, sorry about that, Jean-Claude Black is a concrete possibility for Man United, and he's expected to be the new CEO of the club of Man United. He was a CEO at Juventus and a CEO at PSG. That's why I told you that these are the people that we need to bring in at Man United to obviously rectify the problems that can't be solved, because these people know exactly how to run big clubs, and United is a big club. So he's obviously going to come in through, do an assessment, you know, between November or mid-November to 31st December, and obviously come out with the best plan for the club of Man United. And I think their first ask for Erik ten Hag will be, how do we galvanize the squad to win the remaining 2 games to obviously qualify for the round of 16 of the Champions League, you know? And I think if this is sorted early enough, then the players will be knowing that we are really safe. And I think their mindset is obviously going to change, and they're obviously going to focus onto the ball. Then Paul Murtough is the big favorite to become the new sporting director of Manchester United. It's a serious possibility. So Paul Murtough is going to be the new sporting director for the club of Manchester United, meaning that John Murtough is going to lose his job. Then who else? Richard Arnold is also going to lose his job. But you never know with the Glazers. They might obviously call in for certain things like, let's get assistants. You see, let's get assistants and see how they're obviously going to pan out. And you might see to either they create an assistant CEO or a vice CEO and a vice sporting director. That is it. But for me, all I want is, I want Jean-Claude Blanc and Paul Murtough to be making what we call the decisions. And having such people at the club of Manchester United, when they're really above those they've gone ahead to find the club of Man United, is really the best that you'll ever really hear about. Because when Rangnick came in through, and he was obviously going to stay as a consultant at Man United, when he came out in the media and said what was supposed to be said, he was just fired. You remember that very well. He was fired. So we don't need a situation, you know, that was here when Man United really had Ratcliffe, who came out and said we need an open heart surgery, that everyone really saw, and we all agreed with that. So that's the problem at Man United, and we want to say to it that these people come in through as early as possible, and we see how things are going to pan out. So your thoughts on the Sir Jim era takeover next week are welcome in the comment section below as his era starts. Are you really optimistic and excited about his takeover? All that and more into the comment section below. Rokan David is my name. This is what we do on a daily. I think I'm going to run a live video, maybe later, and it's gonna be about maybe the fun prediction show before that game starts. And I'm obviously going to come in through and really talk to you in the next 2-3 hours from now. I sign out for now. See you later. We thank God for the gift of life. The Muslim Bye bye. Not so? But don't forget to subscribe, because we are left with just few subscribers to hit the magic figure. Let me see. Let me check before I sign out and really tell you exactly what we are obviously left with to obviously hit that magic number that we have been really waiting for, to see to it that we get to where we deserve to be as a club of Man United. Let's go to the creator studio and see what we are left with. 30 subscribers to hit 16,000 subscribers. So guys, do the needful and subscribe. I'm out.